Hello everyone, welcome to the Monaco Grand Prix. It is the fourth Grand Prix in the season. I am going to be commentating by myself today, so you will only have me here. And obviously, we got to look at the standings from after yesterday's race. We have Michael, who is 12 points ahead of David, who is 11 points ahead of Chris, Chris, who's just 5 points ahead of Elijah, and then it starts trickling down a little bit in the standings. Ferrari have that 10-point lead, Mercedes has that 11-point lead, and then it drops way far down to Red Bull and then even farther to V-Carb and Kick. Now, Monaco is known for a lot of crashes here. David got into P1, first pole of the season. Elijah P2, Michael only down in P3, not that good for him. Dylan in P4, Caden in P5, Nate and Austin down in P6 and 7. And it is lights out and away we go. Both David and Elijah got good starts. David a little bit better. Caden gets a great start compared to Dylan, and already making his way up into P4. We saw a little slide there from Elijah, which made him lose a bit of time. Michael's on the back right there, may have a chance here for an overtake. Still though, sliding a little bit as Michael as he's coming around these next two corners. David has already gained a second on Elijah here. Elijah is only 5/10 behind. Everyone is staying somewhat close. Austin, though, is definitely far behind everyone else. Dylan dropping down to P5. Michael tapping the wall there and sliding out of that turn. Already the top three are now separated by about 1.5 seconds. Caden not too far behind his teammate here. Michael cutting the chicane there just a little bit. Still though, out of that 1 second mark, he's gonna have to make up all this time here. He's now getting a lot of time here on Elijah. He's now up to that 7/10 mark. 5/10 here. He's riding the back here. It fails to make that turn was not that good for him here. He's going in, he slides a lot there going out of that turn. He already loses that 1 second. And now the top 5 are all separated by a second already. Looks like Nate is just on that cusp of that, and David is already 2 seconds out of Elijah. Austin is 4 seconds behind Nate, so he is struggling right now going around. We know that the bottom three are not that experienced in racing, especially around Monaco here. So this is their first ever races around Monaco. David, Elijah, and Michael here are all a little bit more experienced around Monaco, but they seem to be having a bit more, they seem to be struggling though as well. David seems to be getting off the line really fast, so 2.5 seconds ahead already. We see a little bit of an onboard here from Michael. Lap 2 of 39. This is a long race that we're gonna have to buckle in here for. We know now Elijah's now the 1.8 seconds 1.5 seconds ahead of Michael here, and Michael is 2 seconds ahead of Caden. Siding again out of that turn. That is the second time out of two times. He's 2 for 2 now doing that. Still though, gaining up to the 7/10. Had a much better exit though than Elijah, but this is not an area to overtake. He's gonna need a lot more time now. He's gonna have to be patient. We see Nate making the move around Dylan. Michael's still sliding though. I'm wondering if maybe it's his tires, they aren't cool enough, or warm enough. I want to know maybe if it's the setup Ferrari has given him. Going way too far on the inside, he's going to lose a lot of time from that. And this is the first time McLaren has not had both drivers together. We know that this is the home race of Liam, Elijah's teammate, who was not able to show up for this race today. Which is quite unfortunate. I bet you the home crowd would have loved to see him win here, but sadly was not able to make it to the race. Michael getting up to that 7/10 mark once again here, still sliding. He does get the DRS this time. He's going to keep losing time because of that slide. He did not have a good exit. He also has to recharge. He slid even more there. We saw that. That was a really bad slide. He's going to lose a lot of time to Elijah. David now 6 seconds in front. He slid it again, and this time he even broke his wing while sliding. He's struggling a lot right now. Losing a lot of time to Caden. And losing even more to Elijah, who is just trying to get away from him here. And I mean, David's now near the 7-second mark. He's absolutely flying. As we see here, Michael is now 3 seconds behind Elijah. Still around that 1 second mark. He fails to make that turn that well. He slides even a little bit there. But now his teammate is going to have DRS onto him here. He's going to wonder if they're going to maybe make a move. He tops the wall there. They're now 3.7 seconds behind Elijah. Elijah's 7.8 behind David. David is just leaving everyone else in the dust here. Obviously the best here around Monaco. Michael slides a little bit. We know that Ferrari are not opposed to battling each other here. They're not going to just let each other through. So it is going to be a larger decision on whether Caden will, in fact, go for the move, and when he will go for the move here. He's only 4 tenths, 5 tenths behind. Taps the wall there. Seems like everyone is. And a little bit of a slide there. Getting out of that 1 second mark. Michael is extremely fast through this third sector. It's the first two and these final 2 turns that really hurt his chances, as he slides really far there. And he's just going to have to let him through. He had a horrible slide, which costed him over a second of time. On to Caden here. I mean, the gaps in the front and the back are just rising. 21 seconds between Dylan and 21 seconds between Dylan and Austin here. It is only a 1.3 second gap between Michael and Caden. For some reason, the intervals between Elijah and Michael have swapped, but Michael is not 10 seconds behind Caden. He's only 1.4. It is Elijah who is that 9.6 seconds behind. Seems to be getting a little bit of time where he was up at around that 10-second mark, and then he dropped to the 9.6, and now he's already back up here. Third sector does not seem to be that strong here for Elijah. So Michael's closing the gap there, just 5 tenths behind him. See these guys here, they're not too far behind now. Just 3 tenths going up here along the inside. Looks like Michael's going to try and go for a move here. Goes around on the inside, taps the Ferrari, and just gets ahead. A fairly bad exit from Caden there, which costed him 3rd place. Nate 21 seconds behind Dylan there, 9 seconds ahead of Austin. Dylan 10 seconds behind Caden here, and Elijah now 12 seconds behind David, who's just running away with it. Took so far as the fastest lap of the race, took pole, first person to take pole, besides Michael ever. Michael has gotten 4 straight consecutive poles. This was the first race that he did not get pole. And obviously you can see that Monaco is obviously not his best track. He's definitely been struggling around here. Not sliding out of that turn though anymore, which is pretty good. We see the yellow flags come out as a safety cars now, or VSC seems to be coming out here. You look up on track, we see that Elijah stopped. So has Michael. Had to give back the position by the looks of it. Seemed to be just stopped on track here. See, as they're starting the safety car here, instead of the VSC, it is now a safety car, which is going to give them valuable time. It's going to give Austin a chance to catch up now. Same with Nate, who are both 43 seconds apart from each other. But now with the safety car, it looks like Dylan had DNF'd. Must have crashed. Well, he had to have. But he's going to give valuable time for the drivers to pit now. I think Michael taps Elijah there in the back as he has to slow down because of his probably negative delta. Looks like David is pitting here. Or could be pitting, who knows? But we do know that these guys are going to have to pit. Now it's going to be interesting with the Ferraris right next to each other. Are they going to double stack each other here? Who is going to do what? It looks like Elijah goes in, Michael stays out, and Caden goes in. That is interesting. They're basically leaving, making Michael lose that position because he's going to have to pit again. And he's going to need to replace his wing here, so he won't be able to stay in second for that long. He's gonna lose David right on the restart. He's gonna have to pit, so. And with Nate over a minute behind Caden here, I feel like they've done nothing but ruin his chances. See the safety car there. We see David. Right there already. They're out 20 seconds behind. You can make, I believe, a 15-second pit stop, but that won't be enough as they're going to get right behind him by the time he makes it to the pit lane again. So he's going to have to stay out if he wants to maintain this second place ahead of Elijah. It's a great view. As you see in the back, we saw them getting near the chicane area, the pool. Michael following closely behind David, and there he goes. He goes into the pits. He's only 11 seconds ahead, which is not enough for an effective pit stop there. You need, I believe, at least 15. But he has new tires now. Waited a lap to get them, knowing that he may be able to preserve them a little bit longer or push them a bit more here. We have a really long time to wait here before the rest of the grid catch up to Treasure, as Michael flies in here. Almost misses the chicane. That was quite an interesting move from him there. Now they just have to wait for Nate and Austin to get to the back of the grid here. When we entered in Monaco, we did expect there to be at least one DNF here, which so far it has given us, but there's still 29 laps to go. So there's still a lot of racing left, which means there's a lot more chances for DNFs. So there's not much to commentate on right here, as we were just waiting for the rest of the grid to form up behind the safety car. As it looks like we may be restarting. This grid flag should start to go up here a little bit. Michael had a not the best start there, but looks like David and Elijah got a great start. Already we can see a gap starting to form between looks like actually Elijah's trying to almost able to keep up here with David. Still staying within that 1 second mark. But it is slowly dropping away. Caden is dropping away from Elijah here. And I mean, Nate is slowly dropping as well. 1.6 seconds behind. As that 1 second gap is starting to open up between everyone. Michael taps the wall there. Still following fairly closely behind. He makes the move around. I just realized that my mic had been muted. You see David here just 3/10 behind, knowing how hard it is to go around Monaco. Especially how hard it is to overtake. We can only assume that he's going to just stay behind until his tires go. Trying to look for a move there, but not able to get it. Michael on these hold hard tires here. David and Elijah have committed to going for another pit stop here by going on a sauce. Michael, if he preserves his hard tires, may still need to pit a little bit there. Michael takes a defensive move. Michael will probably still have to pit on those old tires here, but he can definitely try to go the rest of the race on them. Sliding a little bit, you can already see them starting to wear out. He has had them on for almost 10 laps now. Elijah waiting behind, looking for an overtaking move. As David tries to go around the outside, but Michael closes it off. Damages his front wing in the process here. David trying to hit switchbacks, trying to go around the outside, going into the inside here. It's not working for him. Michael slid a little bit there. David having to recharge. Elijah's still staying back. Not trying to damage his tires as much as David is. Trying to go for the lead here. Probably hoping that they crash into each other and he can just smoothly sail to his first victory in Formula One. See that David goes into the pit lane there. And so does Elijah. Elijah follows suit there, pitting at the exact same time as David. And Michael needs to preserve his tires here. If he can get far enough ahead and then pit, he may have a chance of getting by them here. David is 19 seconds ahead here. Michael needs to keep him 19 seconds behind in order for him to have a chance here. Looks like that will not be happening. Michael's gonna have to try and go the rest of the way here, but as we can see, you can look at Elijah, who was in second place for most of this race, dropped down to third when Michael did not pit under the third safety car of this race, or sorry, first VSC of this race after the two safety cars. And he is a little bit behind David though. David is closing that gap down between him and Michael. Seconds every lap. Michael's going to have to take down the laps, obviously, but he's going to have to defend for at least another 9. Elijah's been chasing his first Formula One victory for a while now here. Getting two fourth places in Australia and Imola, and then a third place in Bahrain. One of the 3 other drivers in championship contention has in fact won. David in Saudi Arabia, Michael in Bahrain, and Chris in both Australia and in Imola. But as it stands, looks like Michaels may get his second. But David is closing this gap extremely fast here. He really wants to get a second victory. Well, Elijah just wants his first to give him a boost into the championship fight. It was really late into that turn there. Carrying a lot of speed. Almost causing him to crash like Caden did, but for a second there, David was not gaining any time there on Michael. Now he's gained 1.2 seconds all of a sudden. Maybe Michael has slid. That the time just keeps dropping. He'll be within DRS range by the next lap. As the time just keeps ticking down on fresher tires than him. As you can look at the battle here, they're about to enter the DRS straight. He's already within that second there. You can see Michael's tires just giving out on him here. He's had these tires since lap 14 of the race. He's been using them for 15 laps now. Or, sorry, 13 laps. See David right on the tail end here. Michael's gonna have to go defensive. See David trying to go along the outside. Michael playing defensive, keeping him out. David tries to go on the inside. He's right behind him, trying to scare him into making a mistake here. Here he is, trying to go there on the inside. Michael playing defensive again, though, keeping him out. Going to lap 29, Michael will have to defend for another 10 laps here. Having to push his car a little bit more, just give him out. Elijah's still 11 seconds, 12 seconds behind. He's going to have to push this car even more than he already has. Now having these tires for 14 laps here, sliding a little bit, giving David the chance to make a move as he goes along the inside here. Diving in, they make a bit of contact. Wing it, and Michael brakes extremely late going along the outside, and David just swoops in there, making the move around the hairpin into P1. Michael slides a little bit, already losing that time. With these old tires, Michael won't have the ability to catch up in time. So that as he's already down at the 710 mark, but now the faster acceleration from David with those fresh tires, with the completely fixed wing there. Michael's just trying to stay within that 1 second mark here, but Dives in a little bit late. There's that slides out of that turn there, and he's going to lose that 1 second. I bet you he's giving up there, not trying to push the car more than he has to. Elijah now 9.8 seconds behind. I can keep the pace going here. Slides a little bit out of that turn. Still trying to keep the same time behind. As he just keeps losing time to both Elijah and David here. He's kind of in a no man's land. Like, he's gonna have to defend Elijah, as he can't go up and press David for first place here. But getting that P2 would be interesting. You see just how worn his tires are here. Tires that he's had since lap 14 of this race here. Had them for 17 laps, going on to 18 once he crosses the finish line. You can see his tires there. He's now almost completely in between, about 7 seconds on each side. He's about 7 seconds behind David, about 7 seconds ahead of Elijah here. That is quickly changing here. He is now closer to Elijah than he is David. Or just 3 laps ago, he was battling David for that first place. See Elijah now. He's not that far behind. Only 5.8. I don't think Michael will be able to hold on for another 6 laps after this. He's been just losing more and more time now to Elijah. It's only been 4 laps and Elijah's already halved the distance between each other. Michael takes that turn really late there. Just keeps losing time. He's now 11 seconds behind David. He had just lost that position 4 laps ago. With 3 DNFs and a disqualification, this Monaco race has only had 3 drivers since lap 17 or lap 16, but at the end of the day, it's been over 10 laps, been around 15 laps since we've had more than 3 drivers on the track, and only 3, which means all 3 of these guys, as long as they finish the race, will be getting a podium. We'll be getting the most points that they could have possibly hoped for. When David starting in P1, Elijah starting in P2, and Michael starting in P3, the top three drivers have maintained their P3s, at least their top three status since the start of the race. Elijah has dropped down to P3, though Michael has moved up into P2 after a risky move by not pitting and being on these hard tires for I believe it is now 20 laps out of 39, so almost around 2/3 of the race he's been on these tires for. This is a horrible slide there, and he just destroys his wing. That is going to give Elijah definitely a breath of fresh air here. You see his tires are gone, his wing is gone. Elijah can breathe easy knowing that he's going to be able to catch up to Michael and probably overtake him at some point in the next 5 laps. Michael just has to be extremely slow now through these corners. Still only 1.3. Not losing that much time. Still seeming to take these turns pretty well, even with the broken wing. He's refusing to pit. Elijah taps the wall there, losing a bit of time. Looks like he still has a decent wing though. And with these fresh tires that Elijah has, he will soon be catching up to Michael, I believe. Oh, as Elijah slides out of that turn, almost breaking his wing as well. Luckily keeping it and staying just right behind him here. On these new hard tires, they're both Michael and Elijah are 18 seconds behind David here. Michael taps the wall again. Elijah's now within that 1 second mark. We'll be getting DRS in the next straight. So Michael just fully cuts that corner here. He will be probably getting a penalty for that. Taking that chicane, not the best there. Sliding over, tapping almost every single wall. As he breaks really late, failing, and as Elijah gets through, Michael won't be able to hold on anymore as he goes into the pits. Having to fix his wing for the second time this race. Putting on soft tires just to finish it out. Elijah has 20 seconds to make up on David, but that won't be happening with just 4 laps left in this race. 4 laps left in this race. Michael's gonna have to put some heat into these tires here. He's 25 seconds behind Elijah. Starting in P3 and ending in P3 by the looks of it. Starting in P2, ending in P2, and starting in P1, ending in P1. David has had an extraordinary race here, leading every single lap besides the couple where Michael refused to pit. The second he saw a chance, he made the move and overtook him for the lead of the race, and he has not looked back since. Losing a little bit of time to Elijah actually, and quickly gaining that back. Having the fastest lap of the race here on those soft tires when chasing Michael. Getting pole position and winning the race, that is a grand slam, and David would be getting driver of the day. Michael sliding even more through these turns here. Even with the new tires and the new wing here, he just seems to be sliding no matter what. Michael has gained actually quite a lot of time though on Elijah, gaining nearly a second in just this section here. If he pitted earlier, he may have been able to keep up with him. Even while sliding, he is gaining time. Pushing the car as much as possible here with only 2 laps to go. It would be like if he had pitted earlier with Elijah and David 4 new tires here, would he have been able to keep the first or second place? Question is just we do not know here. See him now going below the 15-second mark. We're literally last lap in the same exact area. He was 18 seconds behind. He's now just 14. Now dropping below the 14 mark. As they're starting the final lap of the race here. Monaco is a race that every single driver here would like to win. Obviously, David has practiced quite a lot to try and win this race here. Going from starting on pole, getting fastest lap of the race, leading the race by the end here, 27 seconds ahead. When he took the lead again just 11 laps ago. Elijah, who pitted the same exact time as him, he's gained 27 seconds on him. Michael has closed the gap from 18 seconds to just 12. But it is not enough. Maybe if he was given an extra couple laps, he may have been able to try and drop this gap down even farther, but there's no sliding, and I doubt he would be able to. And as David wins the Monaco Grand Prix, taking his second Grand Prix victory in the season, Michael crosses the line to take P3 here. And to end that off there, David comes within just 2 points of Michael here. Elijah getting ahead of Chris, the first time anyone besides David or Michael has gone ahead of Chris in the standings. Still fairly far behind. Liam, who did not start his home race, is still 7 points behind him. Dylan, Caden, and Nate, who all DNF'd, all stay in the same spot here. Ferrari and Mercedes go tied on points with 124 each. McLaren not too far behind, 18 points behind with 106. Red Bull drops even farther now. They are 56 points behind McLaren. And Kick not too far behind, just 18 points behind Red Bull here, with the V-Carb just 4 points behind Kick.